Hello, and welcome to your meditation practice as part of the Open Heart Project. My name is Susan Piver, and I am extremely delighted to give you meditation instruction. And today we're going to sit together for 10 minutes, and we are going to start right now. So please take your seat and begin to get settled. You can sit on a cushion on the floor, and if you do, please sit with your legs crossed loosely in front of you. And this means like one ankle in front of the other as opposed to your ankles on top of each other, which can be painful. And we want to avoid pain. But it's completely excellent to sit in a chair. So please don't think that you will get any extra bonus points or special stickers if you sit on the floor, because the chair is fine. And if you do sit on a chair, please sit with your feet flat on the floor. And as you get settled, I want to remind you or tell you, in case you haven't heard this before, of what I think is the biggest misconception about meditation practice. You must never, ever, ever believe this. This is a misconception. And that is that meditation, in order to meditate, you have to stop thinking. You have to clear the mind of thought. And of course, that's a really frustrating thing to try to do. And if you sit down to meditate thinking, okay, now I have to stop thinking, within about 30 seconds, it will become extremely frustrating. And it's not necessary. So the sort of classical example of the way to think of your thoughts, yes, you can think about your thoughts, is to what's the word I'm looking for? To equate them with clouds in the sky. And if you look up in the sky, some days you see clouds that are fluffy and beautiful and delightful and look like cute animals. And other days you look up in the sky and you see something that's very dark and ominous and frightening and feels very heavy and close. Yet other times you look up in the sky and you can barely see some clouds that are wispy and very far away. So all of these clouds have one thing in common. And that thing is that they all pass through. None of them are permanent. None of them remain for good. Of course, some can stick around for a very long time. Some you prefer to others, perhaps. Doesn't matter. One by one, they all pass through. Another thing that the clouds have in common, and you're going to see how this relates to meditation practice in a moment, is that they exist against the backdrop of the sky. And if you could ask the sky a question, sky, do you prefer beautiful fluffy clouds that look like rabbits over dark, scary clouds that look like, they could hurt you? The sky would say, I don't really care. And we are very accustomed to identifying ourselves with the clouds. When we think happy thoughts, we think we're happy. When we think scary thoughts, we think we're scared. And yes, you are happy and you are scared and so on. But all of this is playing against a backdrop that is much bigger than any individual feeling of happiness or fear or what have you. And the truth is that we are not the clouds. We are much more akin to the sky, which can hold it all. Your mind is that vast. It can hold thoughts that delight you and thoughts that terrify you and thoughts that bore you without changing the nature of your mind, which is as vast as the sky. Because you don't get stuck on one thought that you think permanently, right? They all go through. But there's this backdrop that remains. So please know, as we practice today, and we're going to start right now, that your mind is as vast as the sky, and like the sky, can contain things that are beautiful, things that are difficult, and always remain open and spacious, no matter what. So, I hope this is useful, and here we go. So begin your practice, please, by taking a good seat, which means to sit up straight, but with a sense of ease. Ease in your body, ease in the spot that you happen to be on, the ease of being who you are. This is it. I know there are birds outside, but I live in an apartment and there are birds, and I hope the noise isn't disturbing. So feel the sort of dignity and elegance of your own body, which is much clearer when we sit up straight than it is when we slump. The hands or palms down, just above the knee or at mid-thigh. And the hands are relaxed. You don't have to do anything special with them or magical. Just let them rest on your thighs. And really feel your sit bones sinking in to whatever you're sitting on, cushion or chair. Give your weight to it. And let your belly relax a lot. And let your chest and shoulders relax, and even your throat. The chin is tucked a little bit, so the back of the neck is long. And the mouth is closed, because this is a time when you do not have to say a word. You can really let all the muscles of speech relax. The jaw and the tongue, and even the inclination to speak. You can let that relax too. You don't have to say anything. It's very nice. Breath comes in and out through the nose, and the breath is natural, meaning there's no breathing technique. Just breathe. And in this practice, the eyes remain open, and the gaze is cast down to a spot about 6 feet in front. And it doesn't matter what's in that spot, because you don't have to stare at it. It's not a staring contest. It's just a place for you to rest your eyes. So as you're gazing out through your eyes, simultaneously feel them relax. Let all the muscles around the eyes relax. And allow whatever it is that you're looking at to sort of, as if it could come toward you to be seen, so you don't have to reach out. You can let your eyes stay back and let the visual field come to you. And the crown of the head reaches up a little bit. And the sit bones continue to root down at the same time. And in this simultaneous rooting down and rising up, we join heaven and earth in our own bodies. So get a sense of earth by reaching down, and a sense of heaven or sky by rising up. We're constantly navigating these two poles throughout our days, throughout our lives, of earthbound and heavenward. And both are good. Place your attention on your breath. Just notice your breath. And let your breath come in on the inhale and flow out on the exhale. Attention comes in on the in-breath and rides out on the out-breath. Like your breath was a cradle for your mind and just sways back and forth, coming in and flowing out. if you notice at any point that rather than riding the breath with your attention has become absorbed in thought, no problem. No problem. All you have to do as you notice this is gently let that thought go. Meaning just let go, which is different than pushing away or hacking off or throwing away. It's just letting go, like you were holding a piece of paper and you just dropped it. And it just floated to the ground. And as gently, return your attention to your breath. And if you criticize or praise yourself, oh, I suck at this, or I'm getting good at this. Also called thinking. Let those things go too, and come back again to the breath. And take a fresh start, flowing in and out. And that is all there is to it. So we'll practice together. Thank you so much for your practice.